There's my wife and daughter together. That's from that photo.
Beautiful girls.
Yeah. She's right down the middle. She's coffee cream. Yeah,
so my missus calls it beige. That's what she,
But she's got some grey hair.
That's fantastic. How long have you been married?
10 years as of last month.
Fantastic.
And that's her 11 years ago when I first met her.
So it looks the same, basically.
She got married in that dress.
Looks the same.
Yeah. Except because we're off camera, but because I'm so tall, it's Ollie there, and she see how short she is.
Sure.
When she was pregnant, Ollie was sitting in.
Sorry guys, you're back on stream. We're experiencing a few technical issues. Mic's on. Can you just entertain people?
We can, absolutely.
Yeah, no,
we can entertain people.
Yeah, no. Hey guys, well, that's
we thought the stream.
Talking about our wives and stuff.
Yeah,
I was about to start talking about, my daughter and our conception,
Well, please. I mean, I'm sure that would entertain people. Hey, I heard a rumor that you're trying to organise a bit of a Robotron off.
Ah, yeah. So I've been trying to do it for a while, and so I was just talking with Pelly.
Yeah.
And he was
so Greg
talking,
Pell, for those who aren't in the know,
he was
down in
talking to you,
Melbourne
was
as
he?
well.
No,
it wasn't Greg. I can't even remember who it was, but someone was.
Well, I've been talking about it for a while. Well, I'm not going to be called a Robotron off whatever, but
sure,
but that idea,
yeah.
But I think, I'll just say it. Like, I think that the arcade community, what's the right word? I think it's grown up now enough to let go of certain apron strings.
Sure.
Which means it's time to just realise that let's look at it intelligently, and having talked to people who are software engineers and computer engineers, like circuit engineers, and I talk to them rather than arcade gamers, and they know, and basically what it comes down to is sparks being shot at copper, and if the ROMs are accurate, like when I speak to these guys and they're insulted by the questions I ask them because they're so stupid, they said basically when you get down to binary code, it is copper being shot at, sparks being shot at copper.
Yeah.
And I said, and if the ROMs are accurate, there isn't going to be a difference because the circuit board's made of a different shaped plastic or capacitors or something or other.
Yeah.
So it's time to embrace MAME. It's time to sort of embrace J-Rocks. It's time to, because this community can't live on the back of what is becoming soon genuinely vintage hardware, like actually 50-year-old stuff, and it won't last forever. And if you want a culture where you can only get competitive sport, like competitive games, because you happen to own a rare DK3 circuit board, well then that's the end of that game.
So do you think then that with sort of direct emulation, which means it sort of doesn't matter, to say, everyone can disagree with this in their own capacity, but if you're playing on MAME, it doesn't really matter so long as the MAME set is the same and the ROM set is the same. There's no difference on how it plays. And I suppose the input-output lag is there for different machines and stuff like that. But what I mean to say is you're saying that, if a capacitor is a little bit different or if the circuit board's a little bit of a different shape, do you not think that would add to the ability to play the game because there are variances which are beyond your control that you have to adapt for on the fly in a sense?
Well, I don't think it'd make any difference if the ROMs are accurate. Like that's what I'm saying, these bootleg boards, like unless you can demonstrate difference, like clear difference, they're just the same game. Like MAME, but the other thing is, I think it's also letting go of the idea of something that was formed a long time ago with all the best intentions, but it's a very, very wobbly device, which is twin galaxies,
Sure.
So what I'm suggesting is that it's great that it exists and it has its function and it continue, but I think it's time it's the only sport that I can think of, let's just call it a sport for the sake of it, which is defined by world records only. Like the Olympics is about gold medals and tournaments, and there are world records in it, but that's not the...
It's separate too.
Yeah. So cricket,
it's part of, but
there's
also
world
separate
records
too.
in cricket, but it's still about winning matches. And I think that there's enough room now for people to say, hey, let's form our own tournaments with our own rules, and our own behaviour. And I'm very focused around this. Well, not very, but I'm building this thinking around in Australia, New Zealand, idea, like this idea of these are the
The
people
Anzac,
playing.
yeah.
Yeah, so people can come in.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're
Here we
getting
go.
ready to see Tekio and Greg
Yeah.
Pell fight off for the bronze. So, I'm
So
Greg.
just finish up really
Sure.
quickly is the idea that, because there's J-Rocks and things out there,
Yeah.
you can build cabinets that are much
Absolutely.
more stable, and you can actually get live feeds out and much more better
Yeah.
with LCDs and all this sort of stuff, and let people play with an Xbox control if they want. Let them play with a Guitar Hero.
What are you
whatever.
comfortable
I don't,
with?
I don't care. Well, if you think it's easy, because everyone's got the same choice, go, oh, it's not fair, he's doing that. Well, you can do it.
Well, you can do it if you want. Yeah,
Anyway,
absolutely.
We can talk about that later.
Yeah, it's
So
interesting.
So we've actually started. Is that right?
We have, yes. So, interestingly enough, in the last game, I think Greg was up against Barra, and unfortunately was knocked out. But on his first man, got a PB,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, I don't think I've ever PB'd my first man,
No.
except maybe the first time I played the game. Which is absolutely incredible. So he'll be coming off a bit of a high. Matt, unfortunately, I had a chat with him in between sessions, and he was saying I just didn't hit the button hard enough.
Yeah.
Which
no, you
he
asked me
just,
about,
you
yeah.
know, he just.
Because I was watching it like this with Tanya. She was looking that
You were-
way, and I was
yes.
watching Shane's game because it was in more line of sight. So I was just glancing because we were talking about lots of stuff. And I was just saying he settled in like he's just seemed to be playing with it. And I just saw a glimpse, and I went, "What just happened?" In my mind, I went, "What?" And I looked, and I saw his Jumpman dead at the bottom. And I thought, "What happened?" Like I didn't see what happened. Look, I thought he jumped to the bottom and missed the elevator. Hadn't come up quick
I
enough.
thought it was the same as well. I thought that maybe he just it's a horrible way to bloody go on the elevators actually when you just don't get
And like Matt said, it was his fault. Like he's not sort of
And,
looking
you know,
for
and
excuse, but
that's-
he said he actually had a giggle. He said, "You thought it was like because it happened." You think that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And this is kind of the beauty of the head-to-head in a sense that something like that can happen, and happens unfortunately regularly, especially and even for the really top-seeded players in a sense.
Well, it's like, and that's the thing that you forget. It happens in anything. You know, like
It happens. Yeah, that's it. That's
life.
absolutely
happens in life.
Right. Now, interestingly, I wasn't keeping too much of an eye on it, but Matt wasn't point pressing on the barrel boards on level 1. He chose to just skip straight past it. He's probably going to play it a bit safe, maybe. I don't know. Now, Greg could have gone down there and looped back up and point pressed for quite a bit. Chose not to. Chose to clear the board. So level 1, your countdown timer, as Strain probably
Oh,
knows.
he's lost a man. Or we've got a
No.
free man.
No. 10K, you get your free man.
Yeah, sorry, he has lost a man.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it just hadn't loaded there yet.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Oh, is that enough? Did I just hear another one go, or was that someone else playing?
Someone playing.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Matt choosing to come over here to the left and pick off the fireballs rather than, and he'll clear it nicely done. That's a fantastic. Wow, 18. 18 and a bit K off of your first two boards. That's pretty impressive. Bastard. So what you're telling me is that I can play Robotron on a Guitar Hero if I want to.
Well, it'd be great if you could set it up like that. But the idea is that with Belly's it, because my feeling is there's various thoughts about this, which is this thing I'm writing. I don't know, but anyway, I won't go into it. But when you look at Twitch as a measure for where the some top games like say StarCraft or
Yeah.
Fortnite, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the average game goes between 10, like it's like 10 or 15 minutes.
Oh, Tekio,
Yeah,
Death
that
to a
was-
Wild Barrel there. There wasn't much I could have maybe back jumped to avoid, but then he'd run into trouble of trying to get over the two barrels that were following him. That's a real shame.
There's. So I just lost. my
Sorry,
train
you
of-
were talking about Twitch
Oh,
and
no,
StarCraft.
yeah, it wasn't you. Yeah, so StarCraft and Fortnite. These games go, I think it's like average like 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And the world record on Robotron's 15 minutes. So the average game's probably not even going to be 10. You know, like
Really?
yeah. McAllister. This is for 5 men only. Like it's a 1 million point game. It's so fast, Robotron.
Wow. Okay.
And it's a double joystick controller.
Yeah. I've played it
Yeah,
a
yeah.
handful
And
of
therefore,
times. I'll
it's
be
really
honest.
suited to.
Oh, Matthew, another man down here on
This
level
one I just
2
want to
barrels.
repeat, but I didn't see that.
Holy
I just
crap!
glanced at
He
this
was
one.
jumping to avoid a barrel there, and just a wild barrel got him. He's gonna have to. I don't want to say play it safe, but that's 2 men down before getting a start. That's
It's a level 2. He's not even in 3 yet.
no.
He's been unlucky there.
I mean, hey, we all know he's got the skill.
Oh, definitely.
It's level 3 barrels, I think, and especially in a format like this is where personally, some people may differ, but I think that's the point at which you'll really lose your men. But Greg comfortably finishing level 2 there on 30,000. Matt progressing now to level 2 elevators. Greg's got. Ooh, this is.
Going hard. Like with the camera there, this is it will be interesting. It's the first time I've actually thought about glancing it back and like have a look at the body language of the
Yeah.
players, get any indication of how they're feeling after that.
I mean, Matt was obviously quite upset there with the second death. The first death, I don't think there was much you could have.
I think that, I don't know, you've been watching a bit closely and you'll be better on tech, but Matt's game for a long time now, for 20, 30 hours a week, has been point pressing, and whether he's trying to make the
most
shift
definitely.
to running boards. Did he try and, was he doing less?
So in talking with him, he's playing his game.
Yeah, but
He's
is that-
playing his game.
He has been, but was he now?
Well, this is the thing. I don't know because
We
on
were talking too much.
yeah, well, there's these facts as well. No, just on level 1 there, he didn't press. This is a bit of a dangerous position. No, that's all right. Nice. No, just on level 1 there, he finished with 1700 on the clock, and Matt would normally finish with 0 on the clock. Because he'd hang around. Now, to be honest with you, I just caught a side glance of it. I wasn't sure if there was a fireball following him or something.
Yeah.
If chat wants to help out with that.
Yeah.
But no, for the most part, he seems to be kind of point pressing, but playing it safe.
Yeah.
Knowing that Greg can 2 day, yeah, absolutely. Point pressing 2 days, absolutely unloved. You're 100% correct there that it can mentally sort of, and staring at a screen as well can just be damn near. I just want schooners, mate. You and me both, brother. Yeah, it's a valid point that after 2 days of trying to be at that peak that you're used to, sort of chilling at home in front of your own cab in your own home on your own stream, it is a bit different, I suppose. Matt should probably bail on this and go down and... Greg should probably bail on this and go left, I think, because I was just about to say he's about to get another spawn on the right-hand side. He really needs to bail on this. He should have bailed on that, to be perfectly honest, and gone left. With that many fireballs up top on the right-hand side, you're playing with fire. Excuse the pun.
That joke.
Oh,
You're allowed to do it.
I'm a dad, so I'm allowed, yeah.
So even stuff like this, I don't remember seeing people jump barrels as much as they do now, like pies.
So the interesting thing with barrels is that's where your points come from.
Pies, jumping pies, I meant to say.
Oh yeah,
I was just saying I didn't see as much in Kongos before. Like I'm just starting to notice this more often.
I think earlier on, because I don't want to say the quality was lower, I think the quality has just increased, should we say.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
And the sense that people now are like, well, I kind of got to press for points. If I don't press for points, my opponent could win. So people are pushing them, and rightly so. I think that's a good competition to have.
But when you have people that are, like, say, let's take McCurdy and Lakeman, and they see him doing this thing, it can be done, and they start to take away the mystery of it, and they think, it's not that hard when you start trying to do it, maybe that's it as well. Like people jumping fire barrels, I saw more of that than I've ever seen before in this time.
Well, the thing about it as well is there's a lot to be said about. So Matthew, for example, his style of game now is I want as many points as I can possibly get. And what you were saying before, you trade position for risk. Yeah. And that's essentially what Matthew's doing, and his game has been like that. That maybe transitioning back to sort of playing a bit safer is that maybe he's not as comfortable with it, or anyone. I'm not just saying Matthew, anyone for that matter. So it's interesting, you know. If you're pushing for points, you got to get as many as you possibly can, as many as you can, as short a space as you can, and don't stop for any reason. And you know, to be perfectly honest, if Matthew was playing at home right now, he would have restarted.
Yeah.
Because he's going for the 1.1s, the 1.2s.
And this is where it gets problematic in tournament play, because this is like the idea of just only ever practicing the tee off. You know, you've got to learn to deal with these problems.
Absolutely, and now both these players absolutely have learned how to deal with them. But in saying that, you play a certain style. So I don't know if I've told you this, Greg. Oh, Greg, sorry.
Yeah, no, it is.
I don't know if I've told you this, Phil, but I'm number 3 in the world on 5-minute Kong.
Oh, right. Not very good.
No, it's a load of bullshit.
Oh, okay.
So the Kong Club on Facebook, which is fantastic. They run yearly Donkey Kong Jr. and Donkey Kong 3 5-minute tournaments. And you get as many points as you can in the 5 minutes.
Oh,
And
caught on a spring.
wow, this is really... So Matt normally plays on an LCD, and what he was saying earlier on with the CRT, he can't see the springs as well.
Yeah, because of the curve. But is he on an LCD now? Or
I don't believe so. I
so
think
why did he not go on an LCD then? Why did he choose this?
you'd have to ask himself, I
I
suppose.
assume they're allowed to choose the LCD. I don't know.
They were, yeah. But what level 3 as well. Genie, he should not be dying at all on level 3, really. But this is it. It's anybody's game. I love it.
What's it?
But sorry, back to the fight. So Matthew gave 5-minute Kong a go, and he was just like, I can't do this. Like this is ridiculous. And it's that different gameplay, I suppose. And yeah, wow, it's really interesting.
With I can't grab his name. Kong Club.
Jacob.
Jacob.
Yep.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Fantastic job.
Yeah.
I could not give him as much credit. I could not give him enough credit.
And he's sort of got it just right in the sense that he's not trying to be Donkey Kong form. He's not trying to be Twin Galaxies.
Hey, it's a whole bunch of guys and guys and gals who just love the game and want to chill.
It's like a car club. Yeah, we all
It
like
really
muscle
is.
cars or something.
And that's what it is, you know. And again, extremely supportive for what it is.
The Gallagher group's similar. The Gallagher group.
I've not frequented it, but I believe you.
Yeah. Not the Gallagher.
Yeah,
group,
like
the
when
Gallagher
you're
group.
not wrong there. Personally, I myself prefer CRTs, but I think it's just because I'm what I'm used to playing on. With LCDs, yeah, it's maybe a bit crisper in a sense, so you really know. Whereas LCDs, it's a bit fuzzier.
I like the look of CRTs. I just like the
Likewise.
But there's a part of me that just thinks the headache of it, the weight of them. Gouging them or whatever they call it.
Absolutely.
Just get an LCD and be done with it. You know.
I do agree, but
and also getting the stream out of them, like actually being able to just plug it into a, you can.
Yeah, there's a video out nice and easy with your digital I/O now.
All that stuff. Just it's like if these. Ooh, if this
perfectly
that's
fine
probably
there.
safe. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
bang
very
on, they
safe
do
there. You're in a very
looks
safe
dangerous
position.
to me,
It
but-
does. So you've actually got about a good 2 pixels worth of safe space there. So Matt doing nicely. So I believe Matthew's LCD is still a 20 or 21 inch, whatever the size for the Kong is. It's from Mike's Arcade, if memory serves correctly. So it'll be the same size. I would disagree with you in the sense that me personally, I'd prefer a larger screen just because the pixels are bigger, maybe. But yeah, we actually have. It's not on stream here, but Adam Lee has built an absolutely fantastic Lazy Boy cabinet. Maybe we'll try get some photos up of it later on maybe the BPAC Facebook if someone wants to help out with that. But it's I think it's an. I measured it. I measured it. I'll be back in a second. I want to know how big it is. I have a tape measure in my pocket.
What do you keep that for?
Oh, well, you know, just in case it's a competition. No, it's a key ring, and it is the best key ring ever.
No worries. Well, this is turning into an interesting
So
game.
it's 34 centimeters, so it's probably about a 14, 15 inch
Yep.
in old money. And I was playing it the other day, and actually I struggled with springs on the smaller screen personally. But yeah. But Lakeman being Lakeman knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Look at this game. Like,
Anybody's game. Right now at the moment it is absolutely anybody's game. Matthew playing it, he's getting quite lucky there. So now he's breaking for a left here knowing that the fireballs are going to make themselves over to the right. So he's a lot safer there moving across. He can chill, he's got plenty of time. So that was a really, really smart move. Irrespective that the fireballs were on the left-hand side, they will migrate across to the right over time just because of the way the game works. So,
yeah.
and picked up an extra 800 points with the prize, so clever move on Matt's part right there. Oh yeah, that's a fair point. I suppose the distance between everything. For me personally, maybe my peripheral vision is just more. I've never had a problem with how big the screen is in terms of distance, but absolutely, if you're totally right there in saying that the distance between certain things is a bit smaller, so you can see things. But me personally, my peripheral vision's probably, I don't want to say better than normal or anything like that, but it's never been some. I can kind of keep an eye on two things at once.
Yeah.
I'm cockeyed, so.
Curiously, Scott, not mine.
Oh, and Greg's out. So Matthew now needs to get about 17,000.
Oh, yeah,
But he's only got the one man in the bag. Anything can happen, anyone's game.
Oh, that's what I figured you could do. I just thought I'd better know in case I do something weird. Yeah, well, he's
So
still got
Greg's
to chase
out.
this. Yeah,
Greg's out, he's still got a chase on his hands.
it's not massive, but then again, the score isn't big at the moment. You know? Like when you look at the averages of points of.
Well, just look, like, I mean, Matthew's a 1.1 million player.
Yeah.
And I know, again, we were talking about how that's kind of. Yeah, no, he's absolutely fine. Heels off the bottom, you're absolutely fine there. Past level 4 and on, you're no bother there. So he finishes this comfortably. I think he'll have pies after this.
Yeah.
Yes, pies after this. He's pretty comfortable on that always. Elevators, not pies. Oh wow, going for the bottom prize. Fair enough. Might as well pick up that extra 800 whilst you can. So with VIG, it depends on what your refresh rate of your LCD. Sometimes, Alan, when you spell my name correctly, I'll respond to you adequately. And it's Dr. Rayner to you. But yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, springs are absolutely peripheral vision and muscle memory, at least for me, and probably for anyone else who plays the game competitively. But yeah, I think, not unfortunately, but I think Matt will comfortably finish this.
Oh, yeah. I think so. Yeah.
That's, I mean, yes, double A. He doesn't spell anything right, but
Hey,
tell me.
it's just an interesting fact. You ever, when you meet people, say I'm a really good speller? I'm not a good speller.
I'm not either.
Yeah. So there's people that speak, I'm a really good speller. When someone did this to me, I said, I'm a really good speller, I'm really good. I said, oh, really? And because I'm blind on my left eye.
Oh, okay.
And I said, oh, in that case, I'll give you a word to spell. Didn't get it. And I said, what is it? I said, ophthalmologist. Can you spell ophthalmologist?
OPHT. Oh, okay, fair enough.
That's right. It's one of those words. If you ever in that situation,
Ask someone to spell ophthalmologist.
yeah, ophthalmologist.
And Matthew is true. Not true. He's number 3. I love that you're having to look this up on your phone.
Hang on, what did you say?
OPH.
Yeah.
M-O.
No.
Okay.
O-P-H-T-H.
Oh, of course it's P-H-T-A.
But it's
Yeah.
ophthalmologist. Some people. So you were quite good to get an O-P-H.
Yeah.
So you're probably quite good, but some people go O-P-T-H, and they don't.
No.
You're one of the ones who got. Then you got the next bit. But
Are you telling me I'm wrong?
No, but I think.
Have you, mate?
But I think you might have actually said the first time O-P-T-H.
No, I said O-P-H, and we can
you-
stream verify. Clip that shit.
So O-P-H. But I think I'm not sure if you did say T. I think you might have said T, and then I said it wrong, and I thought, oh, actually, maybe.
Oh, who knows?
Anyway.
Yeah, I got
So
it wrong.
anyway, if someone goes back and correct, you could be right. I just think of what did you say now? Anyway, it's an interesting one to give people to I'm a good speller because it's ophthalmologist.
Well, I want to know. So,
because it would actually be ophthalmologist.
Yeah, ophthalmologist,
But,
yeah.
but we don't say the PhD.
it's like
N.
saying theater.
Yeah, so it's ophthalmologist. Anyway, I only know that because I've been sitting thinking, oh, it's a weird spelling. You know, when you look at it, I was sitting there.
And what do you do in your free time?
Well, when you're sitting around in surgery waiting to have surgery,
Fair enough,
and it's
yeah.
just you're sitting there and then they dilate your pupil and you're sitting there with this giant pupil in
Man,
one eye.
I remember being about.
So you can see my bad eye here, like it has this laziness sometimes to it.
Your eyes are beautiful, Phil.
You can see the.
Oh yeah, I can.
Well, that's
yeah.
all the surgery. I've had 5
So
major
properly
operations.
blind? Properly.
I've got 15% peripheral.
Okay, right on.
My macula's gone.
I'm sorry to hear.
Oh,
I'm missing a bit of me pinky. Show stream. Bit of me pinky missing. Oh, this way. So if I put them both up next to one another,
oh yeah. What did you do?
I got a caught in a door when I was a kid. Ooh, chopped it right off. Couldn't even find the bit to sew it back on. Got turned into mincemeat.
Double A.
Shenanigans. I do. I do suck at spelling. It is probably my least.
I'm not a good speller at all.
No, growing up, I did all my up until about year 10 equivalent. I did everything through Gaelic.
Yeah.
So I didn't speak English at school. I spoke Gaelic at school, and my spelling sucks.
Can you still speak Gaelic?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm not obviously, having been away from it and not using it as much. I'm not as competent.
Yeah.
But no, it's feidlim leart long Welga. Mas feidir tusa leart Welga. It's feidling leart as Welga.
So what did you
Air
say?
on stream. Sure.
So what did you just say?
I said.
Maybe if I gave you something to say.
Sure,
out here,
sure.
So how about something like, I don't know, I would like an ice cream, please.
Bawathlum. No, I forget what ice cream is. I'll be
okay.
honest.
Oh, come on. I'd like something to eat. Sorry.
Bawathlum sun is.
It's a weird sound. So good.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah, it is a weird language. I'm not gonna. But one of the oldest still spoken languages in the world, in terms of written languages. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, stream. Have we got any questions whilst we're setting up for the other games? It depends how quickly you walk your dog, Sean. If it's walking the dog, then yes, and if it's actually taking the dog for a walk, then no.
It's interesting with Gaelic because I quite like Irish literature.
Like most people.
Yeah, but like Yeats. And,
Very good.
And particularly Joyce, like Ulysses.
Yes.
And you'll understand because and of course, Finnegan's Wake, how much of that melodic sound maybe how come into the English in that way,
It's a discussion I had with.
You didn't think you were going to be talking about Irish literature with
it's someone's got to.
But yeah, it's because some of those things read aloud, like of course.
It is. I mean, the Gaelic language itself, it's very contextual as well. There's an awful lot of redundancy in it, in the terms of it depends what I'm talking about as to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's interesting in that sense as well. So you're not wrong. Yeah, absolutely mouth-watering matchup. Let's wish them both the absolute best. This is, I don't think, it's going to be interesting to see how they play. Do they press? Do they run? I don't know. It's interesting.
This could be a very long game.
Or it could be a very short
No,
one.
it could
And
be
that's
that
the
too.
beautiful thing about this, you know? You reckon both? Okay, so we got a vote for both just running boards. It's interesting to see how they'll go. Okay, we got Alan's voting for Shane to win. I think it's anyone's game, to be honest. I mean, Barra.
Not my game. I can't win.
Well, these are facts. I mean, Barra I don't want to say bombed out, but very nearly didn't even make the top 8, like up against Tanya. So it can be, you know, it's one of those things. That's a very, very good point, Jay. That, you know, when Barra hits the 300k, he'll.
You know, when you hear sports people give commentary on stuff and they say stuff really silly. I remember watching the Olympics once, and the person said, you know, it was not a marathon but a smaller run, and the comment was, if she gets in front, she'll win this race. you know, they don't really think, they just say stuff like that.
Well, I suppose that makes sense in the sense that once she's in front, the other person can't get in front of her.
Yeah, but
I know what you
they were
mean.
in separate
Yeah.
lanes. They weren't blocking each other. It's sort of like, well, it's like, if Barra scores more points, he'll win this.
Well, if Barra gets more points,
talking
Phil,
about redundant language. If Barra gets more points,
he'll win this
he'll
game.
win this. Yeah. You know, he will. You wait and see. If
You just wait.
If he gets more points than
Shane.
he'll win. There's nothing sure.
And Spaceys, hello, welcome. So for those in the chat who maybe aren't familiar, out to Way, Spaceys Arcade and Bar. If anyone's out west, please check it out. Absolutely.
How good's their logo?
Oh, mate. There's a photo of me when we put it up. They cut it out of sheet metal, and it's brilliant. It's beautiful. I really, really like it. But anybody out to Way or out west or is in Brisbane for the Kong Off and or BPAC, well worth heading out to a really, really awesome venue run by some really, really awesome guys.
The legs.
Yeah, the legs spell out Spaceys. It's so good. It's absolutely so good.
I designed it.
Yeah.
Oh, did you know?
Yeah, I did.
I wasn't sure if you did. I was thinking, oh, this is good.
No,
I
did.
Oh, that's nice. He actually
Yeah.
likes it now. I think,
Yeah.
oh, he's probably just saying it.
No, it's
Well,
it's
I had
really
my
good.
niece work with me. Like I did it, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I was coaching and stuff, but it was a lot of fun to do, you know. And it took a bit of convincing to get John to go with it, because he was saying, oh, but it's hard to see. So that's the point. It's like an inside knowledge once you know.
Really, and
Yeah.
you know what? I'll
Once
be
you see it, yeah.
very honest. I actually thought when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, they're arrows, and I thought it was something like you know, like you have the Konami code.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was something like that, and then I asked him, and he goes, oh no, it spells out spaces. I'm like, oh, and then once you see
Once
it,
you
you
can't
can't
not
unsee
see
it.
it. That's what I mean. It'll work in that way. You know, I said, if you wait and see, people will like it. I
Yeah,
like
it really is a bit of an inside joke. It's fantastic.
But Jerry said they're putting even a bigger one up, because the other ones look small now. They're going to put a massive big sheet metal one up now. Even
Okay.
bigger one.
Yeah, right on. Well, yeah, I
But
mean,
my niece did the animations for Instagram. Did you see those?
I did. Yeah, they're
cool, aren't
beautiful.
they? The ones she did with the
Beautiful.
Pac-Man
Really,
stuff.
really good. Yeah.
She had fun
Oh,
doing it.
what happened there? Shane Saul went for a jump over a fireball and it reversed on him. So Shane down one man, Barra on 20k, just about to finish springs on level 2.
Hang on.
That's,
Two men.
Oh, whoa, shit, down 2 man. Hey, Shane was in the exact same position against Tekio.
Yeah,
You know?
who knows? Anyways,
Wow, that's you know, he is, but it's exactly the way he was against Tekio, and oh man, that's oh, Shine.
well, I was watching the other side there.
That's going to be a bit of an upset.
I mean, I feel sorry for him because he's had an exhausting day. I'm not making excuses
No,
for him, but my goodness, like,
he's
how
had
much-
the
who
big.
would choose to play this much Kong off the park? I mean, in
He
one day,
he
it's been non-stop.
he definitely has. That's unfortunate. I have a feat, and I don't want to make excuses,
No, I'm just
but
saying.
both deaths there seemed like joystick glitches to me. both. So he basically jumped up and not away from the fireball, and the other one I didn't quite see it, but it looked like the same thing happened.
Mike said, let's just split it and go home early.
Well, yeah,
You just chuck it.
okay, sink piss for the rest of the
You
afternoon.
already got a belt, so give me one and we'll give half the money.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that last one seemed to be left joystick moving.
yeah, it did. I agree. I'm not sure about the other one. If he looked like he, yeah, I'm not sure about the other one, but no, absolutely, Spaceys. And this is a very similar situation that Shane found himself in against Matthew. He was a couple of men down, and 3 men up. Anything can happen. But that is a bit unfortunate, I have to say.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a nice jump. He contemplated, I think, going up the ladder to. Oh no, he's out.
That's the shortest final ever.
Wow, that's a bit of an upset. That really is. Wow.
Level 2.
I
I'm saying we're going to be strapped into this for.
Anyway, that's.
What are you?
Now,
It's speechless, really, isn't it? There's nothing to say. It's just this is one of the things that's Donkey Kong, like.
My kid, and this isn't, I'm not bad-mouthing Shane or anything like that here. My kid can get a higher score than that.
I think I got a score.
And that just shows how it really is. If you make that top 16, it really is anyone's game. Now, of course, these two are some of the best in the world. Let's not dilute it down at all. That's a little bit of an upset.
I mean, on various levels, that's disappointing. Not that I'm not saying Shane owes it to anyone, but
no.
It'd be interesting to go back and look through that and see what actually happened on those early deaths, because you're thinking, we'll just settle in and
exactly,
let's do this big commentary on just a couple of levels,
Exactly. That's
just too weird.
It's unusual. It really is unusual. But hey, congratulations to Andrew Barrow, Australian Kong of 4 champion. He gets
Brian, please. What's that?
Is that Brian. He means Brian. Alan can't spell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why he works security. It was a bit. And this is amazing. Like, Andrew nearly didn't make the top 8.
Yeah.
Nearly didn't make the top 8.
Well, the weird thing I said yesterday, at the end of yesterday, I said I feel like we've already done the Kong off. Sorry, I felt like we'd already done the Kong off.
No, just because Jimmy's gone,
Yeah.
I thought I'd just so the stream can hear us.
Because it was such big games yesterday. And I said, I feel like we just had it, but we've got to do it tomorrow. Not that wasn't it was just such a big day yesterday.
There's an aspect of that you gotta, you gotta perform. And you gotta keep going, you gotta keep going. It's not.
Because that's where I feel that sometimes maybe it's time, when I was talking to Pelly about it, it's none of my business, but I'm entitled to opinion on it.
Sure.
For what it's worth. But maybe it's time to revisit how to qualify for this, because you've got these top players coming in and they put up these massive scores, because the ones at the lower don't have to put up these massive scores.
Yeah.
And then they've got to do this again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you think, well, maybe you can turn to certain scores above a certain point. Like if you're the number 1 player in Australia, the number 1 New Zealand, whatever, you say, well, we're going to take the top this many players in of the Donkey Kong Forum, provided how recent the scores are. Do you know what I mean? So if you're going to score from 10 years ago, I don't think that counts. Do you know what I mean?
So you kind of get, like in tennis, they have a I forget what it's called, but you essentially pre-qualify.
Pre-qualify. Because you think of the games that these guys had to play yesterday.
Is it a wild card? Is that what it's called? Where you just I can't remember.
Yeah, but look at the top 3 players.
Shall we tune in maybe to the?
Yeah, we can switch off. Hey,
yeah.
Of course,
Oh, it's done? What the?
All of these machines are ready to go, getting all those directories, which were fantastic. And we promise next year every machine will have a directory into it, which will just be insane. And of course, thank you to all the players, all of you who made Kong possible and make all these events possible. I hope you all had a great time.
been dipped in my email, but
So without further ado, let's start with some money and some prizes. In the fourth place, please, we'll applaud each of these winners. Don't hold again, let them know that they are loved and they did a great job. Fourth place for himself, $50. Mr. Greg Hell. Greg, we're going to qualify you both in the lead-up to this to get all the way into fourth place. It's absolutely great, aren't they, man? In third place, Mr. Million himself, Matt Tekio, first round down in house. $150 for them, Matt Tekio, very well done. I'm going to throw that. My drop anyone comes out, it's going to look one. In second place, the nickname for everyone today, $250. The beautiful, the wonderful, Mr. Killstream. Yeah, what are you doing? Mr. Killstream Shane Saw. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Neil. And a huge $1,000 and this fantastic Commonwealth belts. Mr. New Zealand, first person to get 1,000,000 points at an Oz Commonwealth. The man, the myth, the legend, Barra. Should I do all this money or the event first, and also before we go, can I get a big round of applause for Mr. Jimmy Nails. Without him, BPAC would not be. Thank you, Jimmy. And please give a personal thank you to all the thanks, all the people who helped out before we leave today. Oh yes, speaking of Phil Day, he's running huge commentaries in the street, we're so sorry. Hopefully, Barbs, of course, Barbs. Making sure that everything is running smoothly and looks good. And yeah, it looks good today. And let's go. Feels good, jump up. I wasn't wrong. And that only that small shot into the stand we have for Spain and Germany. I've got some ping balls that I might maybe get ping balls later on. Okay. I found. Oh, anyway. So this is formal introduction. Oh yeah, definitely. But you know this better than me.
Formally inducting the group chair in Newcastle, Kim Oswald and Ray McInnes. 35 years of service in repairing electromechanical pinball machines. Literally during the Lord's work, hobbyists, they work every day repairing machines that nobody else would probably work on, with nobody on the reserve. Extremely gorgeous and funny men, so again, this obviously ceremony is not particularly official this time, but next year we plan on actually blanking out the calendar and having an official end-up ceremony and trying to invite up as many people. We have a lot of awards retroactively that we haven't physically given to anybody from the previous years, so next year we'll have a proper spot in the calendar to present everybody officially, but we will desperately try and get Kim and Greg up here. They're good fun to have you with. I went up and saw them. We drove 8 hours and just 1 hour sitting at the bar with them paid off my entire trip. It was very funny, they tell great stories. So hopefully we can get them here. We're also inducting. We're also inducting New Form, so the creator of PPA in New Zealand. 15 to 20 years service. Currently work like first time I met the man, and when we do a proper ceremony, someone would like to talk about it next year. They have a massive impact on the pinball community in New Zealand, work tirelessly, turned up and helped in other people's events, worked all year round on his own events, and what I understand was one of the most beautiful venues in the league. So he's on there, we're going to book a ceremony again next year. Yeah, we'll get someone that does the long weeks and there's a moment to come about chat. Hopefully, David Beck will be here potentially. And then there's only one Special Achievement Award for people from last year, which was Colin Merton from the USA. Colin came to Australia and earned 400 Wobble points in 10 days. It was absolutely disgusting. But congratulations to him. Colin is a beautiful young man. He's very hostile. His family are beautiful. So no one has ever actually worked so played that well in a 10-day period. No one made ever again. It was pretty exciting. So hopefully we get back here next year. There's a lot of different ways. So again, next year we'll have a fun ceremony. And thank you all so much.
And there were just a few other games that are coming out next year on the primary side for both not just so much arcade games, but video games in general. I mean, one that definitely like fantastic. Anyway, great. Thanks for attending. Jimmy and all those that came along. Hopefully next year it's certainly the one that we really want to do. Cheers.
just
back
sat
from
down
all
with you
the ANZAP and also the Kong Off Awards. So again, big congratulations in order from 4th to 1st was Greg.
Yep.
Fantastic. He PB'd one on his first man on his qualifying round into the semis, so that was amazing. With Matt Tecchio coming in 3rd with some amazing games. Shane, unfortunately, not his game, but came 2nd. And to be honest, I think his games out of the entire of the Kong Off have been the ones to watch, and he's pulled it out of the bag every single time, and got unlucky with some wild barrels earlier on there, and the way the cookie crumbles. And then, of course, our adopted son, given he's from New Zealand, Andrew Barrow, who came over and took out the crown for the 2nd time now.
No, that's his first Kong Off win.
Oh, did he win?
No, he's never won a Kong Off.
Oh, I thought he won.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If someone was going to win under circumstances of what seemed to be genuine bad luck, like how Kong is against Shane.
Yeah, sure.
Andrew's certainly earned it in all the years of Kong. Shane won't be. It'd be different if it was such a
no.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, you look again. I keep
you
going.
See what I'm trying to say?
No, absolutely. And I keep going back to it that
I
Andrew got a lot of bad luck against his game against Tanya Lowe, and that could have gone anyone's way. Really, it's the way the game is, but 100% deserved. Unfortunate in the sense that it wasn't a closer competition purely for the entertainment aspect, but no removal of accolade or glory or hard work that anyone's put into that. It's been just amazing, absolutely amazing. But I think that's us, Phil, for today. At least I suppose we better go have a beverage, something to eat. And we'll say goodbye to the stream. Alan, thanks for joining us, mate. It's fantastic that you decided to participate in some way or another. Everybody else, again, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the internet, I suppose.
I just want to thank Tyson and Scott, who put so much together for us here. They make it so easy. It's just for me to come in and just
We've
sit
just
down
been sitting here talking shit, really,
I
haven't
don't
we?
have to plug anything in. I don't have to reach.
Absolutely.
It's just,
there's so much that goes on behind the scenes here that doesn't get as much accolade as it deserves.
People don't realise that while I'm sitting here, there are people using here. There are people like Tyson running back and forth.
Absolutely.
And whenever I look across to Scott, I'm always knowing I'm disturbing him because he's always doing something. He's not playing Minesweeper because I checked.
You're not playing Minesweeper or Solitaire? No?
He's always
okay.
But there's always so much juggling and stuff because he's doing the pinball at the same time.
Absolutely. He's on both streams and killing it every way. But thanks everyone for joining.
Yeah, and I'm chuffed to have you on. It was great, Aaron.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
You might have put me out of the job, mate.
I've been known to do that. But again, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. I'm unsure about how streaming going forward for the rest of the arcade and pinball things, but please turn your notifications on. You'll get a notification when Netherworld and BPAC are streaming. Feel free to subscribe and follow and all that stuff, I suppose. And we'll see you again. Thanks very much, everybody.
Thank you. Cheers, Scott. Thanks again, mate.
Thanks, Barbs. You're the legend, mate.